Life is Strange is a mediocre game that is not a great experience, it is very dull and forgettable, and overall not fun. And I am here to deliver the truth on why I hate this game. Hello everyone, my name is Ghost Killer. Today I will be talking to you about what Life is Strange did wrong that made it a boring game. Let's begin. Life is Strange starts off with the main character Max Caulfield in the middle of an F6 hurricane, and you must make it to the lighthouse for safety. Before you reach the lighthouse, a boat comes out of nowhere like it's Randy Orton and collides with the lighthouse, making it collapse. We then wake up in a classroom where we're getting lectured by a teacher because we took a selfie, which is what I want in the video game. I want to play a game to forget school and have fun by being lectured at school in a video game. Anywho, after class, you go into the bathroom, take a picture of a blue butterfly on a bucket because of symbolism. And a guy walks into the girl's bathroom and starts having a mental breakdown like he's the Joker and Batman. The main sidekick, Chloe, walks into the bathroom and starts interrogating the boy in the bathroom. Gotta love the bathroom. Whose name is Nathan, and not the cool Nathan from Uncharted, but just some fake Nathan that stole his name. Eventually, Nathan snaps into a Slim Jim and pulls a gun on Chloe and shoots her in the stomach. Max then lifts her hands up and magically she reverses time and wakes up back in her classroom. And we are never explained how Max got these powers or why she was chosen out of all the people to have these powers, but for shits and giggles and shits, she has them. And so she goes back into the bathroom and stops Nathan from shooting Chloe, and this starts our little bizarre adventure that we have to sledge through. Now this sounds like an epic tale, but it is not. I enjoyed playing through the first part of this game, but as later in the game as you go, it gets worse. And talking about these characters segues into my first reason this game is horrible, the characters. Throughout the entire game, I ran into 4 people who I actually enjoyed. 4 people? That's less than characters in Fallout, a game that's empty because of a nuke. These 4 characters I feel like gave me some hope while playing this tedious game. The 4 characters are Warren, Joyce, William, and Max, before Chloe held her captive. I like Warren because he was a funny, smart student who just tried to get with Max, but depending on the choices you make, he might have a chance with you, or you put him in the friend zone faster than a rabbit on speed. But he doesn't let that affect his personality, and he doesn't stop trying to seek his goal of becoming a scientist and trying to affiliate with Max. And that makes him cool in my book. That, and he saved you from a bullet by going Star Platinum on Nathan. I like Joyce because she was a person who had a bad event happen to her when William died in a horrific car accident. But unlike Chloe, Joyce didn't dye her hair Zarya anniversary skin blue and start listening to Green Day. Instead, she tries to forget and remember William in a better way, and remember his good attributes. And so she still goes through life smiling and running a business, being happy. And she just wants what's best for her family, even though Chloe thinks she's doing the opposite. Speaking of William, I think he was the best character in the entire game. It sucks we see him and then he disappears like the Flash. He was what made episode 3 and 4 enjoyable and fun, because he would always joke around and try to be the best damn dad in the world. And he did a very good job. He was always funny to Max, and even when he was stressed while he was looking at the hospital bill, he would never show a bad side. He would never try to make other people feel bad. Instead, he would laugh and cut up even if he was depressed. More of the characters in this game should be like William, because he was more memorable than any other side characters, because unlike most characters, he had a personality, and you enjoyed talking to him compared to others who you don't even remember the names. And even if the new Life is Strange game that is coming out does not have at least a part of William, just a little tiny bit of William in it, then I'll cry and probably not buy the game unless they give it out for free like they did with the first one. Finally, the last character I enjoyed was the main character, Max. But this was before she met My Chemical Romance Chloe, because Chloe is what destroyed Max as a main character and pushed Max to the side like Max was Luigi and Chloe was Mario. Yeah, we saw more of Max and we got to play as Max, but the game revolved around stuff going on in Chloe's life. And Max is just a person that follows Chloe and does everything Chloe wants to do. And I think that ruined Max as the main character. There is even a part in the game where you see an alternate version of yourself, and she makes fun of you for following everything Chloe wants to do. The game even says it itself that Max just followed Chloe's around. And the game even calls it Stockholm Syndrome. And it's true, since Max rarely has any say in anything Chloe does. Even when Chloe breaks the law by breaking into the school, Max is just like, "Alright, sweet, let's go." Yeah, you do get a voice when Chloe tries to steal money from the handicap, but oh no, if Chloe wants to break the law, then go right ahead. And it makes Max not feel like the main character, it makes her feel like a robot that Chloe made to follow her around and do stupid actions that a normal person under those circumstances would say no. Those are all the characters I enjoy, and that's basically most of the characters you see and get a feel for. The other characters are there, they get their scene where they speak, they get an Oscar, unlike Leonardo DiCaprio, and they become a background character where they pose no point to the story. You just see them, but you don't care for them. They could literally disappear from the entire game, and most people would not notice. And yeah, I understand these are side characters, but even in other games, the side characters show up for one little segment, and they disappear. But in those games, they try to make the side characters interesting. For example, let's look at the first Phoenix Wright game, where you meet people, talk with them, they show up in court, they give their testimony, and they're never seen again. But you remember them because they are memorable and have a unique personality, unlike Life is Strange, where all the characters are bland and dull and boring. That's why you don't remember them, because they don't have anything interesting to say about them. They're just like NPCs in Skyrim who say one line and then proceed to walk into a wall. I think that's what makes the game feel like Fallout, where you have an NPC running around and then an occasional character you can interact with. But with Fallout, just about everyone you meet has something you can do for them. And yeah, it might not have something to do with the main story, but in Life is Strange, this is a game where every little thing you do is supposedly affects the outcome of the game. And some of the characters you do interact sometimes have something for you to do, but it's just a little tiny thing that does nothing to the story at all. Like Alyssa. I honestly didn't remember Alyssa. I had to Google her name. For anyone who doesn't remember, so 90% of the people, Alyssa was the purple black haired chick that kept getting hit by footballs and pushed into the pool. And you have to keep reminding her because apparently she's not self-aware. When she gets hit with the football or knocked into the pool, if you do most of these, then she'll thank you. But if you fail one little one, Alyssa hates you, and it's not mandatory to do any of these because it doesn't affect the story one bit. Now, the second reason I think this game is dreadful is because of the story. The game has you solve a mystery like you're in DuckTales, in which you have to find this girl who went missing a few years ago. What does this girl mean to you, you might be wondering? Well, she means absolutely nothing to you at all, but just because Chloe said it, we must find her. It's our job to solve the missing person case instead of letting the police do their job, because apparently police do not exist in this universe. After you find the dead girl in a junkyard, you must bust Nathan Fake and the teacher from the first episode, and that plan goes all downhill. Chloe gets shot, which is the best part in the game, and then you get strapped to a chair as the teacher takes photos of you, probably to put it on his Tumblr. And all of this because of Chloe. If you never met Chloe, yeah, you might have not gone on a journey to defeat Dio and solve a murder, but you still get your cool stand powers, and for one of the endings, which there's two of, which I will talk about later, if you let Chloe die, then Nathan still gets busted, and so does the teacher. And so instead of taking a whole week to solve the kidnappings and almost dying multiple times, if you just let Chloe die, you still bust the crooks. So this story just has a ton of plot holes and parts where you say, well, can't we just do it this way? But the developer's like, no, you can't do it like the smart way. You gotta do it the way that almost gets you murdered. And all of this just for a girl that doesn't have any point for you looking for her. She doesn't even have the corpse parts, and she never ever has interacted with you at all, but we have to do it just because Chloe said so. And another thing the story does is that we are never given a backstory. I don't know who Max is, we just know her name, she's in school. We just played the game right in the middle of her school year. If you look at something like a great, fantastic game like Last of Us, we see life before the outbreak, and we see what life the main character Joel had. We see how even though he is stressed out because of a mortgage and his job, he still loves his daughter, and we see these characters interact and have personality. and you become attached to them. So when spoilers, when Sarah gets shot and killed, you see Joel cry, and you feel empathy for Joel. Like in Life is Strange, where when something bad happens to Chloe, you don't feel down, you feel happy. You're like, thank God, I ain't gotta deal with her for this episode. Because you literally met Chloe in a parking lot. Anywho, back to Life is Strange. Life is Strange just plops you in the middle of Max's time in school, and we never explain how she got to school, how she met Chloe. All we know is that her name is Max Caulfield. She has parents, she's at a school, and her best friend used to be Chloe. We don't even know how she met Chloe. Hell, we don't even know what her parents like. And something like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which I love, by the way. That's why I keep making references to it. In part 1, even though Jonathan Joestar's mom dies in the first minute, we still see her. We see Jonathan's childhood before his eyes, before he becomes a badass who fights vampires. Sorry talking about anime, I'm a nerd. Anywho, back to Life is Strange. In Life is Strange, you do not get a backstory, and for a game that pushes the story and tries to push your emotions, your emojis, with Chloe getting shot, you have to have a good character to die in order for me to care. Like in Doctor Who. And for a game that wants you to be invested in this shit story, the story makes no sense, and so I can't get invested into it. And so that is another flaw in this game. And the last reason I will be talking about why this game sucks is the biggest reason why I think this game is horrible, and I was happy that I beat it. And that reason is the endings. Now throughout the game, you can make various decisions that will impact the story, and the game tells you this. It tells you in the first episode. But if you play and beat the game, then the endings come down to two choices. That is it. Black Ops 2 has more endings than Life is Strange. Let that sink in for a minute. Anywho, it leaves you with two choices. Either you go back in time and let Chloe die, or you sacrifice the whole town of Arcadia Bay and let everyone die, just so your Evanescence listening girlfriend stays alive. So you go through 5 episodes of a game and made all these choices that question your humanity and basically let you see what it was like to make those choices. And you see the results of your actions just to have the ending lead up to 2 options: kill one person or kill a whole town. And I mean the whole town. I mean no one survives. There's not a single survivor. Not even Survivor, the band, could have survived. So basically, if you choose to sacrifice Chloe, then the whole game does not matter. You go back in time and all the choices you make get erased. It's just like dust in the wind. And they meant nothing. It makes you feel less immersed. Yeah, with some choices, if you mess up, people die. But the only person to die if you make bad decisions is Kate. And if you go back in time, Kate comes back to life. And it makes every other choice don't mean anything. It's like in Beyond Two Souls. Remember that game? I don't either. Where they let you pick different options, but they don't change the story at all. But even Beyond Two Souls had 11 endings, maybe even more. And some of the choices matter, like how you can let everyone die in one section just because you goofed up. But in Life is Strange boils down to 2 choices, and so the whole entire game lies to your face, like this is No Man's Sky, and tells you that the choices affect the outcome. But it doesn't at all. Either you go back in time and make all your choices irrelevant, or you let everyone die, and so your choices become, like I said, dust in the wind. And that was the biggest thing that pissed me off, and I was so happy when I got to the ending, and I was ecstatic that the game was over. And you should never feel ecstatic when a game is over. But I did, and that is why I think Life is Strange was a disappointing game. And I'm glad I never have to experience this tragedy of a game. I give Life is Strange 10 out of 10. Best damn game I've ever played on the GameCube. I am so glad Capcom made this game. I'm just joking. 0 out of 10. This game's horrible. Anywho, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this new series. If you'd like to subscribe for more, like the video if you enjoyed the series, or comment telling me what you didn't like about the series. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.
Bye-bye.